So this is going to be a little video on animation and how I at least have started animating. So I personally really like weapons, so I decided to start with them. I have I love skulls, so I draw a lot of skulls. Here I'm trying to think of like how the arrow moves into the bow. Sure, I don't get everything right, and I try and do the right bends. Like it's a recurve bow, so the bow's gonna bend. So I use like the warp tool here and warp it a little bit. I'm doing this on the iPad on Procreate. I try and make something cool, but then I just give up on it. I end up deleting that frame. I didn't like it. I like it. Him shooting basic arrows. Next, we've got this little clappy hand boy. I like making this. I did a lot of facial animation with this goal, and that made me happy because it made me see that like I can do something like that well. Yeah. This is another little facial animation of the skull. He's doing a little blink and a wink. It took me seconds to make this because I just had to draw a skull and then it winking and blinking. But I'm getting better. This is a little dancing skeleton. This is one of my first ones actually. Uh, just trying to move it around. I ended up using the select tool and moving the head around first, and then just trying to draw some body parts. They look horrible, but whatever. Here I draw my basic skull a few times over and then try and add some armor. Oh god, I gotta blow my nose. Nose blowing has been complete. Well, then I start drawing these armor pieces on, and like, I like shoulder blades, so I give them some shoulder blades, make some volume in the chest plate, but that's all I do. I'm just like practicing drawing chest plates because all I can do is draw skulls. So I thought, hey, I should draw some chest plates so I can start thinking about how they move, so that I can animate like skeletons in armor. I'd really like to do something like that, like make a little fight scene out of these guys. So I was thinking like, all right, then I needed some weird characters. So here's my weird characters. I like these guys. They run around. This is me trying to track him, but he looks bad. Uh, the center, like he's got that weird center bit. Same with this one. I try and copy Chowder here, and I put like bricks as like the center animation piece. And I'm playing a little bit around with like frames because frames determine how fast something moves on a screen to our own eyes, like how many in between frames. So she's going crazy there, and then I slow it down to show like the bricks in the actual art, so it looks like Chowder. I like it. Here we've got this guy who's like morphing into a skull. Sorry if that gave you a shock. This is the first animation that I added some sound to. I like doing that. It took me like probably 15 minutes on CapCut, and I just typed in a bunch of effects, and I was like, yeah, that works, that works. So, uh, I started out though just with like this guy marching at the other dude, and I wasn't sure where to go next, so I made this little box and made a rapier in it, and then he breaks the box and stabs the guy, and I was like, cool. Now I want to add a slash. I want him to like slash the guy. So he stabs him a few times, and I was like, how many frames of stabbing do I need? And I just kept on duplicating. I didn't worry about anything like that. So here I wanted to do that slash and like him to do like a jumping spin move. So he like jumps up, does a spin, like slashes through. But one thing with animation is you can put a lot of different detailed stuff on a very, very small amount of frames. So no one's gonna see like there's two frames in there where he flips him off. And like I find it funny because I made it. But I guess animation isn't for anybody but the animator, right? Um yeah, but I just I keep on editing stuff. Here I use that select tool again. I slash through the guy and just drag him downwards. That select tool has been so useful. So much easier than hand drawing every single animation, so it makes my things look a little smoother. But you can tell when they're used, and I don't know if I enjoy that completely yet. You know, being able to be being able to tell when they can be used. He like breaks open the glass, slices him, he falls down. It's cool. Um, I don't really know what's going on here. Let's see. This is a skull, 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 skull. Skull. Oh, it's a waving skull. This is a waving skull. I did this, like, I think this was my first animation. I was, like, really paying attention. This took me, like, 40 minutes, 50 minutes to just sit here and draw a little hand. I do the spin move on the forearm because I think that's what your forearm does. It's like two bones in there, so I always do like a little X. Not always. I try to. Yeah, but then he gives us a little wave. We'll wave goodbye. Bye bye. Oh, I should have put that at the end, but I didn't. Next is this guy, who I think is actually the end. It is me throwing an axe, or not me throwing an axe. It's an axe. It's an axe person. A person throwing an axe. And there's a cool smack at the end. That's about it. Smack. Yeah, I did this one this morning. That's it. Goodbye again.